Back here locally, a day after the election, we are getting answers on why some voters in Louisville had to wait in long lines.
WDRB's Darby Beane learned more about the problem and a possible solution. Darby?
Yeah, so I talked to Jefferson County Clerk today, Bobby Holzclaw, and she started out by apologizing for some of the issues yesterday with the e-poll books, and she said that it really could not have been predicted. Now, we have been following the issues with this since yesterday with those long lines for voters. The problem was with those devices. They kind of look like iPads, so where you show your ID to the poll worker and you get your ballot, make sure someone didn't do early voting and then try to show up again on election day. But Holzclaw said today the problem was the Wi-Fi, and it just could not carry all that data going through. So the books got turned on yesterday morning around 5:30 or 5:15. They were processing all that information from early voting, and really it just slowed down the system.
Did other counties have this same problem, or was it just us here in Louisville?
Not according to Michael Adams, the Secretary of State. He said none of the other counties had this issue, and he said that if you take, population into account, that's part of it because Louisville is so much larger than the other counties. But he said these e-poll books could have been turned on several hours before. He said even on Monday, and he offered a possible solution.
I think the best way to fix this going forward is for us to address this legislatively and require this best practice in the statute and just simply say you got to have your e-poll books powered on the day before the election to allow this download to occur.
It'd be very difficult for here in Jefferson with as many precincts as we have. Close to impossible, really.
Now, Holzclaw did say that there could be money to buy more e-poll books, and if that happens, then it could be a possibility, but otherwise that would be really, really difficult, she said, to accomplish something like that here in Louisville.
Close to impossible. That's interesting to hear the clerk say that we couldn't turn the poll books on early. Interesting.
So we've had people calling us complaining, voters, poll workers. They have been frustrated by what happened yesterday. Have you talked to any of them personally? What are they saying?
We did. We actually went out and talked to a poll worker today. He said he'd been a poll worker for years and that this was something he didn't expect before. He was frustrated because he said part of their training was that he was told to show up at 5:15. So he did not want to say, well, the poll workers didn't turn the books on soon enough. He said, I got here when you told me to get here and I turned on the books when you told me to turn them on. So you can hear more from him at 5 o'clock tonight, and we're going to talk about what he says the issues were and how long it was taking him to get through to some of those voters to be able to get them their ballots.
All right, Darby, thanks for looking for answers on this. We appreciate it.
We learn from our mistakes.